Marshals, call sign 0495. You go ahead and state your full name for the record.
Yes, name is Hasan Bashari. Take ID 10062.
At this time, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you by the state if one is available. You understand your rights as they've been read to you today?
I understand.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of cut right to some more conversation left off previously. Who hurt Edgar?
Wow, straightforward, huh?
Yep.
Who do you think hurt Edgar? Do you think it was me or Benny or Stankley?
You're asking a question in reply to a question.
That's what I did.
Did you know he was going inside that building?
If I tell you otherwise, I don't think you would believe me either way. So you said you want to cut the bullshit last time, let's cut the bullshit, right?
Okay. Let's hear it. What happened?
Well, Brian, I can't sit here and tell you A to Z. I'm not in the position for that.
Okay.
But did I know him going in there? Sure, yeah, I did. I did know he was going there for something. That's right.
So you knew that he was going into the Ron Oil building, but you didn't know for what reason? Is that what you said?
That's right. I didn't know the details of it, no.
So you had no idea the Faceless was behind it?
See, Brian, here's the thing, is like, you're smart, you're a smart guy. And the information you're looking for is right there in front of you.
I think you sort of mistake the intentions of these conversations. I think in your mind, you think I don't know the answer, when in reality, I'm looking for confirmation, right? And it still begs the question, if you had no involvement in giving Edgar to the Faceless, then why did you run?
Huh.
Why was the first thought that went through your mind, oh no, they may take my guns, or oh no, I might get put in handcuffs? And not, look, I don't give a shit. Just look, here, I have a gun on me, just take it. Just make sure my friend's gonna be okay.
Habibi was never around about the guns. You think I give a shit about coupled guns?
I have to ask that question because you shot the very individuals that were attempting to save your friend's life.
Well, I'll tell you this, Brian. In the situation that we was in, I thought I could help them more if I wasn't in cuff. And the shooting only was a reactionary So see, we jumped in the helicopter, me and Stanley. The helicopter was parked on the Fudge lane, and the moment we took off, fire was opened upon us. And whoever was on the ground at the time, seeing that we were shot at in the air, they opened fire back. We never had intention to shoot you guys. It was never part of the plan.
Who fired first? Your boys
It
on
was the law
Fudge?
enforcement. It was you guys. I specifically remember someone said on the radio they're shooting the helicopter. I'm gonna shoot them, and that's what happened. And our helicopter was, you know, taking shots and it was smoking.
Why did you let him go in there?
Well, if Edgar was supposed to go in there, Edgar's gonna go in there. I don't think I can stop him. I don't think even you can stop him, to be honest.
I've stopped him plenty of times.
Maybe he wouldn't even be able to stop himself. Who knows?
Do you think he knew what he was walking into?
Probably, yeah.
So he knew he was walking into a death trap.
If I would guess, probably, yeah.
Do you have any idea why?
Well, there's two big puzzles for that piece, Brian. And both of the puzzles are out and about. Funny enough, it's right in front of you. You just have to connect them, you know?
So you believe that he probably wanted back in? 'Cause that's what I'm suspecting. That he wanted to get back in with the Faceless. Maybe they take him back open arms.
Not necessarily. I think the first puzzle goes all the way back to Babylon, Habibi.
Yeah. I get it. He owed them a debt. A debt that he decided to pay off. But
why you say that? Why you think he owes them a debt?
well, I mean, that's what it appears to me. I believe he walked in there thinking that he could get back in, and then maybe the Faceless, Mr. Blue, maybe Charlie would offer him an opportunity. You know what's interesting? Edgar and Brandon seemingly share a very similar characteristic in that respect. They both run towards death. With Edgar having most of the luck. Maybe the luck ran out this time.
Well, I believe the luck ran out for Brandon as well. Funny enough, you bring that up. You know, Brian, there's individuals or groups of people in this city that can put a label on you. And no matter if you did that or not, that label will stick, and everyone will call you that label, will stick with the story, and you're fucked. That's why
Talk about
I'm being very
Brandon
careful
and the whole snitching bullshit. You know, it's crazy. It's funny how that goes. You know how I first learned about this label you're talking about? I
Tell
learned
me,
it
please.
from Frederick White. Actually, I heard it from JJ, Jamarius, or whatever. One of the Faceless dick riders, right? He loves that blue sock, a popsicle. JJ, in many ways, I think, is all about self-preservation. He's willing to go and do their bidding. One of the guys that probably has everyone's back, so to speak, but will do whatever he can to ensure that his record isn't the one that's touched. It's funny, he was the first one that sort of alluded to the fact that something was wrong with Brandon. Hunter at least, you know, he didn't play those games. He never really said much. I did actually warn him. I warned Hunter. I said, you know, one of these days when you look left and right, one of these guys is going to stab you right in the back. Whether it's throwing you under the bus for not getting charges pressed, or alternatively, you know, they're going to throw you under the bus just so they are able to climb up that ladder that everyone's climbing, you know, for the Faceless. And then, of course, you had Frederick White, who straight up started accusing Brandon of ratting to the cops. It was almost as if it was coordinated. But it's funny in all of it. Mr. White, JJ, oddly enough, it was almost like they were doing the very same thing. And now, for whatever reason, and I'm sure you'll hear the stories, I had to save Brandon's ass. Might even read about it in the papers. Because when the Faceless want you out, they want you out. And I think that's exactly what they tried to do to Edgar the other day. May not be the same alleged sin, but in their eyes, it was a sin nonetheless.
There's no loyalty between these guys, but Brian, I'm sure you figured that out. The loyalty is towards, you know, the popsicle, like you say. But it's funny, like the what happened to Edgar, I think in a way, is all done in a very specific way for you to put it all together. I think you're just missing it. But the information is there. Like I say, it goes all the way back to Babylon. Something happened there. I'm sure you know about it.
I don't kiss and tell, and, you know, if I knew something, you would not be the one that relayed it. And I would not. If there's something to connect, chances are I already have.
I'm pretty sure you've told me yourself, Brian. Something about a blueprint.
You're talking about Edgar and the possession of the blueprint?
But aren't you aware what happened to it?
Edgar burned it. It's very much what I was thinking there, Hasan, but the reason I asked this question is not because it's not about whether or not I believe it. The reason I asked the question is to see if you believe the same thing.
Listen, it's never about the money or that with the organization. I'm sure you know that. Even anything that was done after the fact on the social media is all, it's all public. it's there, you know. They
Mm.
do it and they tell you they did it. And this isn't information I'm telling you secretly. This is all out there. Like I say, it's all there to show off.
Did you assist Edgar back in the day? Were you close when it came to, you know, the manufacturing for the Faceless?
I mean, you've seen the flight plans, Habibi.
Mm.
I traveled a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of the most I would say about it.
Did you know who he was going to meet inside the Ron Oil building? Before they twatted.
You didn't even ask me that question, Brian.
I did, but I didn't really get much of a answer.
I would rather not answer that.
Well. You know, I'm going to be honest here, Hasan. I was hoping this would be a little bit more productive, but I feel like most of everything that you told me is, hey, you should be able to figure it out. I feel like there's a lot more you want to say. And when I got off the phone with you that other night, I remember your quote was, listen, you want to keep it real, cut the bullshit, let's have a talk. But if I'm going to be honest here, Hasan, I've mostly been hearing a whole lot of bullshit. A lot of inferences, right? Are you afraid that I'm going to use this recording to press charges on you for knowing some of these things, or are you afraid of them? What are you afraid of, is what I'm asking. I need to understand from your own words, because I have my imagination. I don't need you to point at it. In fact, chances are I have significantly more information than you do. The difference is I'm somebody that can actually make a difference.
Brian, the issue is, like, fear aside, I wouldn't necessarily call it fear, but you really can't protect me or anyone that's in my circle from anything at this level, you know?
So I'm not expecting protection. I know you don't need protection, but I think there's a different level of damage I can do to that network than you ever will be able to. And that's not meant to be offensive. It's just guns aren't the weapon of choice in the business that they are in.
I agree, but the problem is the information you're asking for and the information you want from people like me that allegedly could be associated is a very dangerous ask. And there's a reason, obviously, why I'm not here and standing here and telling you everything I know, because I can't.
Mm.
And like I said earlier, it's just all it takes is one person to put a label, or true or not, you know, it doesn't matter. Now let's
turn off this recording.
Calling you. Listen, Brian, calling you on a dead person's phone and all that stuff is not really the smartest, and They're gonna
That what?
find. Where are we going?
You were saying?
I'm just saying they're gonna find, you know, there's always gonna be a way. And the people that are gonna come to you and tell you the information you want, they're just gonna be dead men walking. I don't want to follow that path personally.
Let me ask you a question. When Frederick White gave you those records, or told you about the records, how did that make you feel?
I don't talk to Frederick White.
Well, I know that's a lie.
That's the truth. We haven't talked to him for a long time.
So how do you know that? You know that because he got it from the archivist, which means he gave it to you, which means you decided to grab the thigh of that Mr. Blue.
Brian, we've been out of favor with him for a long time since Babylon. Are you aware of that or no?
There's what people say, and then there's what people do. I want you to consider the following. This label that you're so worried about is actually tied to your ego. It's the mentality of a gangbanger. And I'm going to be honest, when I look at you and the rest of 3POS or whatever you call yourself nowadays, I don't really categorize you as a gang. You don't move like they typically do. You actually have some demeanor to yourself. And I think those that work like you do at some point are going to learn that that word snitch is only powerful for the lowest forms of criminals in the fucking city. Oh no, don't want to be called a snitch, even though this group fucking burnt my entire life down. Took our leader and fucking burnt his ass up while we had to watch. Are you gonna be afraid of fucking Frederick White? Have you questioned why that information even came your way? Because that's the very information that was attempted to be utilized to draw a connection to try to kill him. And you might be wondering, why am I saying this to you? Because Brandon right now is trying to get himself killed. And unfortunately, I, knowing that information from my sources, have to protect him. But it was very convenient that when I arrested some of these assets, they wanted to make it a real fucking point to make sure that I knew and I believed them that he was the one that was talking. And so I find it very curious that first JJ and then Hunter and then White, despite none of that topic coming up, continued to point at Brandon. And somehow the very same information landed in your lap. So now I'm wondering why.
Because I asked for it. Because maybe I was thinking about, hey, like Brandon, snitch, in what world is this even possible?
So you want me to
And I want
believe Brandon gave you this?
No, it didn't come from Brandon, but, you know, if I was going to help him.
The fact that you knew of its existence. Hasan, you're smarter than that. Think about it. How the fuck did this even come down to your table?
Because I asked for it.
You had knowledge of its existence.
No, I had.
How you doing, Coyote?
Say your name. I'm going to ask you something real fast.
Mm-hmm.
What is your official title?
Director.
You are the director?
That is correct.
I had a very strange experience, and I have a message to relate to you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. Bjorn exited at 1:34 p.m. Bjorn entered at 1:37 p.m. and Whipster exited at 1:43.
And are there photos?
There is one photo of you in it, next to a really big fat guy.
Exited what? Exited, entered what?
Don't know. There is a prescript to what I told you.
Okay, I'm listening.
This time-sensitive task was initially given to Frank Skinner, and they failed. You are very much in contact with the director, which I assume is you,
Yeah.
and have been chosen to relay this message. Bjorn exited 1:34. Bjorn entered 1:37. Whipster exited 1:43. The photograph is you inside, I believe, the BCSO office. There is blinds. Next to you, there is a guy. Let me pull up the photo one sec. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm already familiar with the context here. And I'm just uncertain who gave this. This is... Okay. Look, let's have a chat in a little bit. That makes sense. That is... Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Those bonuses are probably just not calculated properly. So, oops.
Okay. So just go ahead and give me a call when you're free.
Yep,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you in a bit. Sorry about that. Sorry, we had like a funding mistake.
No, it's okay, nobody.
What were you talking about?
You were asking me how I got the information. I believe. I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
the fact that you asked for it means that someone told you of its existence and meant that there were arm's reach of it. Why do you play so coy?
No, I mean, I'm not trying to play coy. I'm trying to be
But
as
you are-
honest as
but
I
you-
can.
But if you asked for it, that means someone told you of it. Let me ask you something. If someone was fucking your sister, right? And you
Okay.
didn't want that, all right? I don't know. The guy's an alcoholic or something. And, like, You don't need, and I don't know where I'm going with this analogy. The point was trying to make, maybe I could use a different one. That information that you asked for was only known to exist by the Faceless. They were the recipient of this very specific information. So if someone told you, Hasan, that, hey, I have this exists, did you know about it? That means that they're one of the ones that we're trying to paint him a certain way. Is this making sense?
No, it does. Yeah, it makes sense. Ultimately, the information that I got maybe came from the persons you mentioned directly, right? But when I found out the information, I didn't want to just go off, oh yeah, sure, yeah, whatever you say, right? So I looked into it, and eventually I did get my hands on some information that was very similar to what you said. Sure. Now, but I'm telling you, I don't know if it even matters who the person is I'm getting it from, but I'm telling you, I'm not trying to protect anyone. It wasn't that. I don't care, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess, you know, what I'm hearing here is the Faceless's most powerful weapon is the, you know, the shallow egos of the generic gang member on the street.
Hey, it works. It's working for them. So,
well, I don't think you should subscribe to that because you're not very generic there, Hasan.
I don't want to say I am subscribed to that.
The fact that being labeled a snitch as a weapon being the most scary thing in the world while people hold hands, sing Kumbaya, doing the work for the Faceless, also that they can get a little piece of that pie. You know what I look at that as? Subservience. And what's wild about it is some of these guys, 2 hours later, their own crews are duking it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it was. Well, I think it's a little bit deeper than that because...
Well, y'all had a head start.
Feeding.
Y'all were, y'all actually meant something to them at one point, or at least that's what you thought until you were chewed up and spit out. And that's exactly what's happened to Brandon right now. Unfortunately, you know, Speedy learned that lesson. Edgar learned that lesson. A lot of dead people learned that lesson. And now it's just Brandon's turn. I think it's just a little unfortunate, having had this conversation with you. It's starting to sound like y'all are starting to get a little bit, getting those feelings again for Mr. Blue.
Well, let me ask you, do you want the Faceless not to burn down the city?
That's why I'm having this conversation, right?
Do you really care, Brian?
I care significantly more than I think you would, obviously. I mean, the damn director of the Marshals. Quite
and
literally
do you
my
think
job.
that you can put a stop to it?
I think I can begin to do damage to it, but unfortunately, most 2-bit crooks are more interested in, you know, what they have to offer than considering their own well-being and their families. It's a very question I pose to each and every individual that does their bidding. What happens tomorrow when the person next to you decides to throw you under the bus in order to get a bigger slice?
Well, I think
How
those people
embarrassing.
don't really think that ahead, to be honest, and starting to figure that out. I think you're starting to see the cycle, you know, Brian?
You might be right. But look, I'm going to leave you with this. The funny thing is, and you'll see once things are public, is that those closest to them are the ones that talk the most. So I'm just hoping to find out what the fuck it is, what the reason is that they're actually trying to kill Brandon. Because there's something there, and I don't know what it is. And I feel like that might be something that might crack this puzzle.
So you don't think it's
I think he knows something, or he has something that they're afraid, very afraid of.
Okay.
Otherwise, ask yourself the question, why go so far out of their way? It doesn't make sense.
I can tell you this, Brian. The moment we found out about what the label was, you know, me and Edgar looked at each other and we couldn't believe it.
The moment you saw what?
We heard about the label.
I think that label was put there for a very... That label was there so we would get no protection. In order to outcast him.
I think you're onto something. I think there is a little bit more to it than just that.
Aldo, how you doing?
I'm checking in before I'll be around on Monday. I wanted to make sure that the timeline was everything y'all needed.
Yeah. Hey, you want to come through? I want to introduce you to someone.
I'm going to sleep, so I'm not around on the weekends. I just wanted to see if y'all needed anything else on the timeline or anything regarding that case.
No, actually, something came my way.
Okay.
Let me give you a call back 2 minutes.
Yeah. I'll stick around for that.
Easy. Talk to you in a bit. Bye. Deep down, I think you still work for them, if I'm going to be honest. Either you don't realize it, or maybe Edgar decided to make a deal. And that's maybe why I don't fully trust you here.
It's okay. I mean, I don't trust you either, Brian. It's normal in this. We're on two different sides of the spectrum.
Well, I think I think my side is pretty evident, right?
I guess we'll find out.
I'm a marshal. Being on the side of the Faceless would be beyond unreasonable. I've shed more blood against them than most others. But the thing that's quite curious is Edgar never did receive a black card.
Don't let the money like confuse you too much. Don't let the dead part smear you away, Brian. Like I said, it's never about the money.
The black card. You're aware what the black card means, right? Observatory. Okay. You take care.
You have a good one.